Hello again and welcome to the 140k Imperial Guard Tactics video. Now before we get into today's video, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Benjamin Matson for sending in this very interesting, if not a bit gory, diorama of this Mordian officer receiving vital medical attention. Although, if I'm going to be honest, I do not trust that servitor to operate on me. But thank you, Ben, for sending this picture. It's really cool, really good diorama. I actually really like it, and the attention to details, astounding. It's great. I think if I'm correct, the model that you've put on the operating table, is it like one of the old fallen Praetorians, which look very similar to the Mordians? And I think it's the officer of the fleet you've got standing next to him. Either way, it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure what the model is, which is like, I know what the servitor is operating on, but the one next on the other side was like the sort of, for lack of a better word, pain glove. Really cool if you could let me know what model that is, or someone could put that down in the comments below. Looks like something from maybe Rogue Trader or something. Maybe it's the medic from Rogue Trader. I'm not sure. So it'd be really cool if someone could confirm that. Anyway, without further ado, let's crack on with today's video. Oh, I should say, if anyone else has got any cool pictures they want me to use in my videos, please post them on my Facebook page. There is a link down in the description below. Now let's crack on with today's video. So we're going to be taking a look at the Master of Ordnance. Now let me tell you, I have overlooked the Master of Ordnance. I have dismissed him, which I think is very wrong. I think it's very wrong indeed, because I think the Master of Ordnance is actually a bit of a hidden gem. I think he's actually a potentially really good model. Now the reason that I've dismissed the Master of Ordnance in the past is because of his ability, which is what a lot of people think is the main reason to take him. And his ability is the Master of Ballistics, which is you can reroll any hit rolls of 1 made for friendly regiment, basilisks, wyverns, and manticores or death strikes when they target enemy units over 36 inches away in the shooting phase if they are within 6 inches of this model. So the thing that kills it is the over 36 inches away. If that didn't exist, Games Workshop just giving you a bit of a hint, but if that didn't exist, then this model would be fantastic. I mean, I would use it in my army without hesitation. So Games Workshop, please, can we just get rid of that over 36 inches away bullshit? But the problem is that it is over 36 inches away, and most of the time you're shooting at things which are well within 36-inch range. I mean, 8th edition is weirdly a lot of the most powerful armies in 8th edition are assault armies. I mean, look at like sort of smash captains and stuff like that. So unfortunately that ability is kind of useless, and so because of that, I have, unlike many others, I have dismissed him and said he's useless. But I don't think he is useless. Someone actually used one against me in a recent tournament, and I was really surprised by how effective it was. Now, it wasn't game changing, but it was effective enough that it made me raise an eyebrow and go, I need to take a closer look at this unit. So let's take a look at him. So the Master of Ordnance has movement. He's like a guard, normal guardsman in many ways. He's got movement 6, weapon skill 4+, but then he's got ballistic skill 3+, and this will be really important later. Okay, so he's got ballistic skill 3+, and he's got strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 3, which is actually pretty good. He's got 2 attacks, leadership 6, 5+ armor save. Nothing too fancy there. The thing that's good there is the ballistic skill 3+. Okay. Now the reason that's good is that you take a look at what the Master of Ordnance comes with, which is a las pistol. Okay, no big deal. But he also comes with an artillery barrage. Alright. Now, the artillery barrage is a range 100-inch weapon. It's heavy D6. It's strength 8. It's AP -2. And it's D3 damage. So essentially it's like a one-off battle cannon. Because it's like a battle cannon, sorry, but with a 100-inch range. Now, this weapon can only be fired once per battle and cannot be used if the bearer moves. Well, you're not likely to move him with a 100-inch range. This weapon can target units that are not visible to the bearer But when doing so, pardon me. But when doing so, you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls. You only use 1 artillery barrage per turn, regardless of how many massive ordnances you have in your army. Okay, so typically you're not going to worry about that -1 to hit because you're just going to. This is a character; he's not going to be targeted, so you can put him almost out in the open on a big building, and he'll be able to do his thing and pretty much see the whole battlefield. Now, what's a lot of people are saying is, well, what's the big deal? It's a one-off battle cannon shot. Well, yes, it is a one-off battle cannon shot, but you only pay 30 points for it. Okay, and the reason I dismissed the massive ordnance for so long was because I just assumed he was ballistic skill 4+, but he's not. He is ballistic skill 3+. So that battle cannon, it's like getting an extra shot off with a tank commander. Now, what really makes the massive ordnance something to consider? Because up until this point, it's like, okay, it's 30 points for one-shot battle cannon, it's okay, but it's a bit of a gimmick. Why would you take it? Why would you consider it in a competitive list? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, because unlike the Astropath and unlike the Officer of the Fleet, the massive ordnance can take a regiment keyword. He can take a regiment. And what's really big about this is when you think about it, is if you start thinking in terms of Cadian, or maybe even Vestroian, but probably Cadian. I'd say the massive ordnance is really good in a Cadian detachment, because then he's going to stay still because he has 2 to fire his artillery barrage. He's hitting on 3+, and he's rerolling 1s because he has the regiment keyword. Now you could, if you have orders to spare, I mean, if you're taking him in a Cadian regiment, you can take superior tactical training on your warlord to give out some free extra orders, and you could give this guy take aim, which means suddenly he's hitting on 3s, rerolling all hits with that battle cannon shot. That's quite tasty. But even if he's not, what about even if you don't want to waste an order on him, or or superior tactical training doesn't go off? It's only 30 points. But even then, think about overlapping fields of fire. You plink that wound off, and then you fire this guy at the same target. You've got a battle cannon that's hitting on 2s, you're rolling 1s. And yes, it is only one use, but it is also only 30 points. You could go a lot worse than including a pair of massive ordnances in your army. Now, the last thing to mention to talk about is, well, it's all well and good you're making lots of points there, Mordian Glory, but it's a one-hit wonder, and we don't really do one-hit wonders in the Guard. We like to sort of have things that can attrition and do things throughout the game. That is true, but think about this. This guy is a character, okay? Now, he's a character that you can just plop on a backfield objective, and the enemy's going to have kind of a hard time shifting him off it. I mean, the thing with most Guard characters is they're on the front lines, or they're having to do more important jobs, like, run around issuing orders to infantry squads, or provide leadership buffs, or Astropaths do spells and take away cover. Most of the time, your Guard officers and characters aren't really sitting on an objective in the back. You're having to leave that to some other unit, which can then get sniped off. But this guy can happily sit on an objective and just do his thing. And he can launch that barrage and then just objective camp. He can do that. Also, don't forget, he is a regiment. He's a regiment guy. So that means if you absolutely had to, you could move this guy. You could move him. That could get you line breaker. That could get you from one out of cover into the objective. If you need to, like late game objective grab. And there might not be anything your opponent can do about it, because he's a character. So this guy does have quite a lot of utility. But there we go, guys. What do you think? Again, has Mordian Glory gone bonkers? Am I clutching at straws here? Or is this actually something that we should consider? I'm going to start running a pair of these guys. In my Mordian army, fuck it. I'm going to start running a pair of these guys and see how they do. And if they do okay in a Mordian army, then they'll do great in a Cadian army. One thing I'm thinking of, especially, is when taking these guys, is in a pure infantry army, right? Because in pure infantry army, we often, you do miss those battle cannons. But, you take 3 massive orders, it's only 90 points. And as I've often said, in a pure infantry army, once you've used your 18 infantry squads up and your 3 veteran squads, you kind of end up spending points on random shit. And a lot of the time it's not great. So being able to think outside the box, these guys could really add a little bit of punch. They really could add a well-needed bit of punch to a pure infantry guard army. Definitely think that's a possibility. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Of course, I'll see you guys next time.